Hello and welcome to the selfgrowth.com show. My name is David Riklan and I'm the founder of selfgrowth.com. Today we'll be discussing how to activate your higher calling and uplift our world. Pretty big topic. To help us understand this topic, I'm excited to interview Lumari. Make sure to listen closely. We're going to be sharing a lot of information today. Before we get started, I want to take a couple of minutes and share some information about Lumari and her background. Lumari is a gifted, internationally acclaimed intuitive coach, creative catalyst, and energy master who has shown thousands of people all over the world how to awaken and live their soul callings and create and activate their bigger vision. I love that, bigger vision. She's an award-winning and best-selling author, numerous breakthrough spiritual metaphysical books. Lumari is a guide, catalyst, and inspiration for personal and planetary change, evolution, and awakening. She's recently completed a new book, Streams of Consciousness, Discover the 12 Hidden Frequencies of Creation, Activate Your Higher Calling, and Uplift Our World. And I just want you to jot down her website address. You're going to want to take a look later and find her stuff. It's just Lumari, Lumari. Lumari, welcome to our show.
Oh, David, it's great to be here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm very excited. There's a lot of good information. I've gone through the book and there's a lot of things I want to cover today. But first, let's just start. The concept, I said the topic today is how to activate your higher calling and uplift our world. What do you mean by that? What's activating your higher calling?
Well, one of the things we talk about, your life purpose, your soul purpose, all of those different things. And after a while, for me, they sound like job descriptions. This is your purpose. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to be in the world, all of that. And it's like, it's not inspiring anymore. It's driven. And so when I talk about having your calling, it's like, what calls you forward? Mm-hmm. You listen to your heart and your spirit, what makes you shine, what makes you want to pursue it, and not pursue it like it's a goal, but like it's your journey. It's an exploration, your curiosity, your creativity, your joy and freedom all come into play. And I also say callings, because also with the word purpose, what ends up happening is like you think it's one thing, right? You follow it to the end, mm-hmm. And then you either cross the bridge or there's like one of those things that comes across the bridge and says, no, you have to wait. There's more to do. Mm-hmm. Right. And this is, oh, it's calling. Oh, I can listen to all the birds, right, and still do this and enjoy all of it. So that's really where I play there.
Yeah, I like the concept of really something that touches your heart.
Yes.
Yeah, that speaks to me, because a lot of times we just are, what's a practical calling? And you're really, when you speak of activating your higher calling, it's something that's touching you both emotionally, spiritually. And I also like the concept that there could be multiple callings.
Yes.
I like that because, and I think there are in many cases, we might have one primary and some secondary, and there's might be, some sort of cross effect of sorts, but I get the concept. So I think this is a value to a lot of people. I think all of us essentially want to find that. We want to figure out what that is. So let's delve a little bit more into the book. So the new book, it's Streams of Consciousness. So what is, so I've heard the term before. I like it. You got the book there, all good to go. So we've heard this, and in the past, if you've taken kind of psychology courses, people have heard similar terms, streams of consciousness. So for you, how are you describing, what are streams of consciousness?
Okay, so the psychological term is stream of consciousness, and that's where you just follow where your thoughts go.
Okay.
Now, these are streams of consciousness. They are created by the divine and divine beings to create a conduit, a pathway where each of us humans can connect directly to the divine without getting lost. So if you think of all of us humans and you think about the immensity of the divine, not the label anybody put there or the X, Y, and Z that you have to do in order to get there.
Right.
But this is immense, brilliant consciousness. And if you open yourself up to explore all of it, you can get overloaded. you can get confused. And we know there's a lot of people when they go to do their journey, like 6 years later, now they're coming back to their like present moment. So they created the streams of consciousness so we could resonate with something that lights us up and have a direct connection with the divine so that we're not lost. We're in the joy of it. And they created 12 different ones because for them, there's 12 different kind of themes that each or all of us resonate to that make us, again, connect with our calling.
So in essence, so they're kind of paths that we can take to reach. And I always like the concept of being able to touch this almost a divine spirit, that there's something bigger than us in the world. And this is these streams of consciousness or pathways are ways to reach that.
Yes. And it's, you get to resonate like how your energy is, how your vibe is. I like the word resonate because you can tell that you're vibrating at that thing.
Right.
And through that resonance, there is a pathway with all those different qualities, and it connects to the divine through that energy. And it's for each of us, but it also has a collective relationship, because if you find a whole bunch of people who feel like family, not the birth family, but like in the world, then you can be confident that a lot of them are resonating with the same stream as you. You have the same understanding or the same soul expression, or the things that move you more are within that stream, and it does create a direct connection to the divine.
All right, well, let's step back a little bit. So it's a new book, Streams of Consciousness. And for anybody who wants to find out more details in the book, make sure you either go to lumari.com or just go to Amazon, type in Lumari. You'll find more information about what she's doing. If any of this is touching you, go check out the book. Go get the book. I'm going to give you a blatant plug over there. I recommend go get the book. All right, so let's step back a little bit. How did you come to write this book? I know you were working on it for some time.
Yes, I wrote the book over 10 years ago. And David, I'm a channel. And so, but I'm not like an exclusive kind of channel, meaning I'm not connected to only one being. I follow energy that intrigues me. And so this book is a channeled book with Alawashka, which is one of the beings that I channel. And I'm always in question. I love questions. So I was looking at the different ways that humanity connects with the divine. And then all of a sudden I was in a collaboration channeling with Alawashka. All of this stuff came, and it was like, this is how humans grow. This is what inspires you. See all of these different streams. And I wrote it, and this is an edited version because there's way more chat. Always, right, in a book. And it was like, okay. And it's like, no, it's not ready to come out yet. It's like, no. And every year I was like, well, what do you think? No, not yet. Oh, okay. So this is the year.
All right. Well, I'm going to delve a little bit more deeply into it. So streams of consciousness, you're really creating powerful connections, these pathways, these connections with what we'll call the divine. Can you tell us more about kind of these energies? Because it's really energies that you're tapping into. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So it has what I would call a theme. It's the easiest word to use. Okay. It is a quality of that stream. So for example, one of the stream's qualities is the quality of honor. And so if you're resonating with the quality of honor, and I'm using that when you read the book, there's way more to it than just this one word, right?
Okay. Sure.
But when you're resonating with honor, there is a respect, an appreciation, a recognition. You're looking around, you're honoring life, you're honoring people. You understand what it's like to confer honor with someone so that they know that you see them and know them and recognize their contribution, whatever it is. It's not a sliding scale. You get so much honor if you do so much. You're resonating with that vibration. And now, if we look at a completely different stream, there's the stream of beauty and grace. Now that has a whole other energy to it.
Sure. Makes
and
sense.
it wouldn't, and it wouldn't be just like beauty and grace. Okay, these are the dancers.
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like what inside you looks across the horizon and just is in awe, who connects with people and you feel the beauty in them no matter what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And the grace part is like when you receive it, it almost feels like you're being blessed by the beauty that you see.
So I'm almost getting the feeling in terms of different streams that certain streams are letting you tap into energy that aligns you with other people. You mentioned different people that are aligned with that, but some also seem to strike me as aligning with kind of what I describe as the earth or the energy of of our world. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, and each stream is multidimensional, so you would get the experience of all of it. So if
Mm-hmm.
we're looking at the stream honor, right?
Right.
Then you would feel an honor because you resonate with honor. You would feel honor towards this planet,
Right. Okay.
towards everything that comes up. And then if we flip over to beauty and grace, you would look at this planet and go, how could you miss the beauty and grace that is here? We are feeling that everywhere. You're just not noticing it. Now, the person who is vibrating to honor, a similar connection might be there, but they're moved differently.
Right.
It's a different way of looking at it. And then that would be the same way that they connect with the divine.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at it like, oh, I connect with the divine, the beauty and the grace that I experience when I connect with the divine. Or, oh, the frequencies of honor. I am so honored to be able to connect. I am so honored to share, right? And then it moves into communities. It moves into groups of people, tribes of people, countries, all of those things, because we're all humans. So what you're resonating with is inspiring you and opening you to more, because that's the divine
Mm-hmm.
connection.
All right. Oh, let's delve a little bit more deeply into this. So these streams must impact, our lives, our culture. How do the streams inspire and kind of shape our personal views or cultural views?
Well, when you're looking, I'll use a different stream because I don't want everybody to think there's only two.
Okay. So we got those two. We got the honor, we got the beauty, we got, okay. So there's
so
at least,
so let's look at the stream of compassion for a
uh-huh.
moment. All
Okay.
right. So now, how does it impact you as an individual? Now, one, you may connect with the divine one-on-one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Solo, and feel the compassion that the divine has for you. That, okay, no matter what you did, no matter how brilliant or not,
Right.
there's this loving compassion about who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you might actually be able to have some loving compassion for yourself when you need it.
Right. Okay.
You may also look at people around you and just have that loving compassion, period, even if somebody doesn't need you to be compassionate. And then you may be moved by compassion in the world, so that when you see something that needs that level of compassion, that connection, that caring, that taking care of, that moves you to connect with that, whether it's doing charity work, whether it's just making sure somebody gets the door held open for them because they're struggling with it. Whatever it is, you're coming from compassion there. So it's personal, because that is, I would say, a dominant or leading vibration. But then you're experiencing it in here, you're experiencing it as a connection that can lead you. And then when you're looking in the world, you see that compassion, or where that compassion is needed. Does that make sense?
Yes, I get it. It's interesting. I want to tie this back now, something we talked about earlier, kind of a calling. So how does your book and learning about these streams, the streams of consciousness, or these pathways, as I like to call them, how do they help people understand their soul calling and their purpose? What's the tie-in?
Well, what's really great, okay, is that it isn't like a thing, right? So you're not looking at it like, oh, yeah, I'm one of those people. I get the information like this, so I do this. Or, I'm an athlete. I've
Mhm.
always been really physical. So that's right. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It actually doesn't have anything to do technically with on the outside. So
Okay.
when you're connecting with each one of the streams, and some people connect with all of them, some people connect with one, some people connect with several, but you can start to see, oh, as I am a writer because I get it. I see the beauty and grace in everything, and I have to write about it. Oh, so it's not about I came from here and this is my past life and this is what I promised to do and these are my soul agreements. None of that. It's like, oh, yes, I love working with these kind of people because they don't get enough honor, and
Mm-hmm.
oh, it moves me to acknowledge what they have done for us. Oh, and it doesn't matter whether you're teaching 10-year-olds because you want to honor their journey,
Right.
or you're working with veterans because you want
Mm-hmm.
to honor their journey. It doesn't matter. It's that inspiring factor. And so it gives you more access and, in a way, less judgment about your path, your calling. And when you expand and have many callings, they may all come from the same stream, but be visible and active in lots of different ways.
All right. So I get it. So there's kind of this more of an internal, and the way it actually externalizes can vary. So,
Yeah.
and it can vary from person to person, or even within yourself, over your lifetime. I'd imagine it varies in terms
Yeah.
of what you're externally doing. Okay, makes sense. So I want to delve a little bit deeper. I know we've spoken about this before, but uh, previously, not today in detail. But in your book, you channel Alawashka, and you say Alawashka is the original vibration of creation. Can you tell us more about that, and how you describe this concept of channeling as this conscious? I know you use the term conscious collaboration. So
Yeah.
what does that mean, and how where's this knowledge, and how do you bring it forth?
Okay. So if you think of creation, meaning what happened after the universe, the divine woke up. I'm just going to say
Okay.
it that way. We have a lot of different ways of saying it. Creation happened. The divine, this is how it has been told to me and how I feel about it. The divine does not separate herself, itself, himself from creation. So in order to create, there needed to be something there that does create.
Mm-hmm.
And so Alawashka was born. It is vibration, it is sacred geometry, it is sound, it is everything that brings things into being in a separate yet an
Mm-hmm.
individualized way. Because that's what creation is. Creation is something that came out of and lives on its own, even though it's connected to the fullness. So I started channeling ayahuasca when I was a child. I just didn't know. I just, had conversations, listened to stuff, thought it was interesting, asked questions. And it wasn't until much later that I realized, no, people don't do this. Only you're doing this. Because I started as an
Understand.
adult, I started
Mm-hmm.
having conversations with people, and they
Right.
look at me like, really? Wait,
Okay.
you're having a conversation and getting this?
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized also, after I started recognizing and listening and reading to people who were channeling, it's like, oh, wait, I'm not only listening and writing, I'm participating in this. So we're collaborating together. So the brilliance of creation is coming through me. We're having conversations. It's verbal. It's also vibrational, and I'm seeing patterns and all sorts of other things. But then I'm like, well, now when you're showing me this, what do you mean by it going like this? Does it do this?
Mm-hmm.
Does it do this? How do we expand that? What happens when it comes to Earth? And so we're having a dialogue. So we're kind of collaborating in how it comes to be present on the planet, and then how I can share it so that people can connect with those vibrations and learn and grow.
All right. Oh, I know one of the things that you really focus on, particularly in this book, is taking this knowledge and putting it into a system. The book is really a system. It's a system of ways of tapping into this energy and tapping into these pathways, or streams, however you want to call it. And I like the way that you've identified these 12, because I think we're all individuals, and people will tap into what I like to describe as energy sources in a different way. So I want to delve a little bit more deeply into the book. So just a reminder, anybody wants to jump later, Amazon, look for Lumari, Lumari, just another quick plug for you, Streams of Consciousness. So why do you feel this book is so important for us now?
We are in an amazing period of transition. So we know, and when I knew that this book was going to come out, I didn't know this other stuff was happening. This was, I heard last year that this book is supposed to come out, and I had no idea the turmoil that our planet would be on given the circumstances that we have right now. And what I was getting about that was that we are in a position where there are so many more openly spiritual people on our planet now, that there is an opening of consciousness. There is a new curiosity. So it's not just limited to whatever you were born with. That's what you get. There's an exploration. And so now people can understand what the streams are. They can consciously have access and open to it more so that they can, as individuals, connect with it and really know what they're connecting with, not just, oh, this is inspiration, because that's what a lot of things are. It's like you get it, it's brilliant. I'm going like this because it's a download. But you get it and it's brilliant and you're moved by it, and you don't have a way of knowing how it got there. Like if you know what the stream is, you can go, oh my goodness, the stream of purity, I was just in it and I recognized where my distractions are coming from. And now if I recognize my distractions, I can be a more pure energy of my own being. Oh, and so you're able to align like that. When we look at it at our time, when there is a lot of, I'm just going to call it craziness,
And
when there's a lot of craziness going on and things to distract us, there's also those of us in this spiritual world who know that there's more. The vibrations, the frequencies are higher. And this is the way to tap into it easily, clearly. You actually can look back and go, oh, I got this, and that I understand.
Right.
Or shifting completely and not realizing that you were inspired by something, and now all of a sudden you have access to it.
All right. I like the concept because the book really gives you an understanding to look at the world in a different way. You see things that you've seen before, but now you have a different level of understanding of what that is, what it means to you, and how it can impact you.
Yes.
I want to just spend a minute or two. I know you're offering, you have a special promotion for people who purchase the book. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What do they get if they're purchasing the book right now?
So when you purchase the book, there's 2 free gifts that you get right away. So you go to Amazon, purchase the book, put the code thing in the slot. And the first thing you get is a joy meditation. So it is a word in Alahuashka. The word is Sema. And it is a meditation and a chant to bring you into the frequencies of joy right away. You don't have to imagine it because the frequencies are already encoded in the words and the energy. So, and some people I know, this is what they wake up to in the morning so that they can have joy all day long, right?
I like it.
And it's 5 minutes.
Okay,
So
and that they'll just download. And I think to get that, to get that, if you go to your website, lumari.com, there's information on that. And I think once you purchase it, there's also information in the book on how to get that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And then the other thing is the second gift is resonating with your soul. It is a whole workshop I did on how to be more in line with your soul vibration, your own energy. And it's also audio, so you don't have to do anything but listen, which a lot of times is much easier.
Yes.
And then when the book
take it in.
Exactly. And then when the book is being shipped, the third thing is I have created an activation journal. So as you go through the book, you can write down, you can scribble, you can do however you document things, right? Then you can follow along and track what you've experienced, what you've noticed about yourself and about the world. Because once you start seeing these distinctions and frequencies, all of a sudden the world has a whole, your life has a whole other thing, but so does the world. So this is a journal, an interactive journal for you to be able to write in the PDF, ask yourself questions, and so that makes it more fun, because now you also, there's a place for your insights and wisdom to live.
All right. I like the idea. I like everything you're providing with it.
Thank
So
you.
just want to remind folks, lumari.com, or go to Amazon, search for Lumari, Streams of Consciousness. Before we finish up, do you have any final words for our audience? Any final message? We covered a lot of stuff today.
Yes.
Any final message for everybody?
So I'd love everybody to imagine that if you could tap into and understand what really inspires you from the highest to this moment, would you really play there? Because you want to actually ask yourself and let yourself play there. If you're inspired and your higher callings are there, it is a message.
Right.
It's your message, right? So it's not just some abstract divine thing, right? It's your message to follow. And then when you connect with the streams of consciousness, and in the book there's activation, so that there's a whole other system of things to really activate these energies within your life, then you can really play. And you know what? Out of everything in the world, if we were all really recognized that we were here to play, it would be way more fun.
Yeah, I like that concept. I'm a strong believer of everything I do having an element of playing or learning.
Yes.
And you're providing both.
Thank you.
I like that. All right. Well, Lumari, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, David. And thank you, everyone.
All right. And I want to thank everybody for listening. Make sure, check it out, lumari.com. And I just want to wish everybody great success in all areas of your life. We'll talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.